Chihiro says, "Mom, that building's making noise." But the mother says, "It's just the wind." Then she turns around, but she doesn't look at Chihiro. Chihiro keeps pulling her mother's hand and talking to her, but she ignores her and says to the father, "I should have brought a sandwich from the car." In the scenes around here, Chihiro continues to try attracting the mother's attention, but she hardly sees Chihiro's face. She talks to Chihiro without looking at her, but she sees the father in the eyes when they talk. Her attitudes toward Chihiro and the father are too different. We've all realized that Chihiro's mother is acting strange. Everyone who saw it noticed it because the mother is walking the rocky area of the river, which is dangerous for herself to walk on. And she says to the father, "Oh no," and hugs him. Then the father goes, "It's dangerous." But when they are moving on, all she does to Chihiro is to turn around and says, "Be careful, Chihiro," in a cold manner. It's because she unconsciously treats Chihiro badly because she's responsible for the eldest son's death. She does that unconsciously though. In her mind, she's taking good care of her daughter and she knows it's not her fault that her son died. But unconsciously, her true feeling reveals in her attitudes, such as not looking at Chihiro's face or talking to her in a cold tone of voice. The parents are hiding the fact that they lost their eldest son to Chihiro. That's why the mother is cold to Chihiro. Finally, everything makes sense now. The reason why the mother is being so cold to Chihiro without any explanations, or why Haku says to Chihiro that he knew her for a long time, but doesn't tell her where and when they've met. If Haku was a god, as he said, then it doesn't make sense that Chihiro can see him from the first scene, because in this world, gods are not visible to human beings until it gets dark at night and they arrive at the resort kind of place. Then they finally become substantial. Haku is turning into god of Kohaku River, but he's not one yet. When Chihiro says, "How do you know my name?" Haku says, "I've known you since you were little." The reason why Haku knows Chihiro from a young age despite the fact that he can't even remember his own name is that he's Chihiro's dead brother. Chihiro did not float her shoes in the river. She fell in the river, her brother pulled her out to help her, but instead, he was swept out by the river and did not return. The scene shows how her brother became a god by sacrificing his life for someone else. Chihiro doesn't remember this. He says, "I don't remember this, but I heard it from my mother." Even though she says she floated the shoes, she doesn't remember it at all. So, her mother didn't tell Chihiro that she had an older brother or he died because of her. She only told Chihiro that she almost drowned in a river when she was little. That's why she doesn't remember the incident, but Haku does. The reason why Haku says, "It's strange that I remember you," and Kamaji affirms, "It's the power of love," is because it's fraternal love. Haku doesn't want to hurt Chihiro's feeling, so even if he remembers what happened, he won't say it, nor will Kamaji. Or maybe Haku himself doesn't remember the incident. In the movie, they say Kohaku River was filled up with earth and disappeared later. The expression implies death, because this idea of landfill is a metaphor for burial, funeral, or a corpse. But he still is not a perfect god because Chihiro can see him. The real gods are only visible near Abraya at night after the lights are turned on. In the end, he does turn into a perfect god. なんですけども、じゃんじゃんじゃじゃんじゃんじゃじゃんじゃじゃんじゃがじゃんじゃんじゃじゃじゃじゃんじゃがじゃじゃんまだ終わんないですよ。じゃんじゃんじゃじゃじゃんじゃんじゃんじゃじゃじゃんじゃまだ始まんなくて、じゃがじゃんじゃがじゃんじゃがじゃじゃんじゃじゃじゃじゃじゃじゃがじゃんじゃじゃじゃじゃじゃんって言っていきなりさらば。